The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, welcome to the webinar. Today we will be discussing reports in the Report Designer. So let's start off by looking at our main list of reports, and we can do that through a couple methods. We can go here, Start, Reports, and Manage Reports, which will take us to our list of reports that we have active in the software, or we can click this report links here. All right, so here we have our lists of reports that we can choose from. Here we have our report categories: client reports, Excel reports, installation report, and management reports. Within these categories, we have our stock reports, and you can tell they're stock reports because they have this green like booklet here, whereas a custom report will have like a blue booklet with like a pencil. And of course, there's also change orders, which will be red. We also have report groups and uncategorized reports. This is where custom reports would go if they don't have a designated category upon creation. And we also have report groups, which we can create here, and we'll go over that. All right, so let's start with this ribbon here and go over the options we have here in the Report Explorer. In the first section, we have Create. This is where you create either a standard report, which is any of these reports you would see here. So your installation reports, your management reports, your client reports all fall under Standard Report Designer. Order report, which is for service orders and task details, things like that. That will be done through the Order Report Designer. And Excel Report Designer, which is where you would create Excel reports. The next section we have here is the Manage section. Now this Manage section is for managing your actual active reports. As you can see here, we have this Edit button is lit up, but the Design and Delete are grayed out. And it's going to be like that for all of the stock reports. You can edit them with like the name and the description and even the category, but you cannot delete them or change their design. If you want these two buttons here, the delete design button, to be lit up, you have to choose a custom report, which you can delete or design. And if you click design, it will open up this report in the standard report designer. Next, we have the export and import section. In export, you have file and server. File will export a report as a file, so you can choose your report and browse for the location and the name in which you want to name this exported report. In case you want to, let's say, have someone else import this particular report, or say you're sending this to like support. A lot of times we'll ask for you to export the report so we can test it, and this is how that will be done through the export and file option. You also have export server. Now this will export any reports you have from like your local machine to the server so that other users can access them that have access to your server machine. So if I wanted to export this report, just click export, and now it's exported to the server. Import works similarly. Import file, if you click that, it'll import the file or the report file into SI 2015, and then it'll make the report available here. You also have the server option, which will import files directly from the server, so import reports from the server, and these are all reports that I've exported to the server at some point. And this is also how you can manage which reports are available to people on the server. You can delete them from here. So if I wanted to delete these reports, I would just check them, hit delete, okay, and they're gone. The next section we have here is the category section. This is where you create new categories. So for example, we'll create a new one. We'll just call it new category. And we're going to put these two custom reports I have there in the new category, and you can see it there. If you want to edit, you just select the category, click edit. We're going to call this now webinar category. You can also delete it. So one delete, have it selected and click yes. And now these are under uncategorized reports because the report category that they were in, it was deleted. All right, next we have group. The report group is if you have a set of reports you want to run together. So for example, perhaps you want the project, or I'm sorry, we'll do new group. So we're going to do this standard. We want a cover page, we want a project summary, a proposal install price. Now, in case you're wondering the difference between like install price, proposal, and proposal labor and equipment price, proposal is just generic proposal. It's going to show item price. It's not going to show price of labor. Even if you have labor items set to show, it's not going to show the price of them. It's going to be blank, and it's not going to count labor in the equipment cost. Proposal equipment and labor price will show labor and equipment, but it'll have two different columns. One that says equipment, one that says labor, so you can see equipment and labor side by side. And install price is going to show labor price and equipment price plus labor. So we want to do install price. We don't want to do that one. We want to do by location. And maybe a system summary. So now, as you can see here, we have our report groups here. And if we go to start, projects, manage projects, and let's just do this. I think I have a webinar project here, webinar client here. I'm going to go to reports, going to go to other. That's where it's going to be located. Report groups are always going to be under other groups. Select standard bid, click run. So as you can see, we have our cover page, project summary. We have another cover page because I clicked proposal and I didn't actually tell it to hide the cover page for this. Here's all of our items, total here, system summary. So it ran all together, and as you can see, 10 of 10. So that's what it looks like when you do a report group. So let's go back to our reports. And let's go back to the group, and we're going to go edit. So here you can edit, add new reports. If you want to move one of these reports up or down, you can. You can even choose the page display setting, which is like you can make it so auto page numbering. So display with auto numbering, display without, and run separately. You can choose that from here as well. There's also a report setting for this. So we're going to save. We're show you, of course, delete. We'll delete this. All right, so let's go back to client reports and let's go to proposal. The next section we have is a definition section. The definitions are, I like to think of them like groupings. Basically here you have by category, by location, by category. Those are all definitions and they all have their own parameters. So let's actually do a new one. Now if you look here, you have description. I'm going to call this no group because we're not going to actually have a group for this one. You can choose your grouping here, but we're not going to choose that for this. And here you have your parameters. Let's go over some of these. We have show labor by phase and summary. That'll break out the labor. Instead of saying labor and then the price, it'll say trim labor, rough end labor, programming labor during summary. Show page headers and footers in reports. This is the header banners in the footer, which has page number and all that. You can either set to show that or not. There is no way to show one and not the other. They're tied together. So there it is. Show labor items in report. By default on some of these reports, that's unchecked. No proposals one, but if we look at go here, look at proposal install price, I believe it actually is checked by default. Let's go here. All right. So that'll show labor, but for this particular report, even though it'll show the labor, the price will be blank because on the proposal it does not print out the labor amounts for per item. Summarize packages and summarize accessories. If you have like a package, which of course has a grouping of items, you can set whether or not you want those items to be shown or not. Same thing with accessories. You have an item with accessories, you can set whether or not you want that actual accessory to be shown in the report. So all is going to summarize everything, whether it's set on the item level to show or summarize or not. Item is going to look at there's a checkbox on the accessories tab, and there's also a checkbox on the general tab of packages that says summarize the client reports. It's going to look to see if that's checked. If it's checked, it's going to summarize. If it's not going to summarize. And none, it's not going to summarize any of it. It's going to print out all items in the package and all items that are accessories of another item. Show manufacturer, shows the manufacturer. Show model number, shows model number. Show part number, will show part number. Show detail price. This will show the pricing of accessories or items in the package. By default, it might not show. So if you have, like, say, a package that's, we'll say, audio, video, or audio package, it will say audio package and then list out the items, but it won't show the price unless that's checked. Show product price, do not include accessories. Basically, there's an asterisk that will say price includes accessories. This will show the product price but not include the accessory price. That's show detail price that has to be checked because it'll print out the accessory price as well. All right. Show quantity and price in aggregate in packages and accessories. Not much detail about this one in our support site. It's just you do not want to uncheck this. Things get messy. Use theme. The theme is like the banners you see, and we'll go over themes a little bit more. Keep group together. This option will it'll look to see if the items in, say, a system or location can all be printed on one page. So if you have 3 items that were in, we'll say, main or bedroom, and the next items are in the bathroom, but all of them can't fit on the rest of the page, it'll start a new page so that it can't fit. Hide cover page will hide the cover page. Show discount amount in project summary. If you have a discount percentage on your items, it will show discount amount in the summary. Show dynamic group section totals. That's the total for a location. So if you have bedroom, it'll show all the items and then the price of all the items in the bedroom or all the items in living room. Or if you have a system, all the items in the audio system, all the items in the video system. Hide optional items will hide any items that are marked as optional. Hide alternate items will hide any items that are marked as alternates. And those are all the parameters here. I'm gonna cancel. Actually, we did want to create a new definition, so let's go ahead and create that new no group definition. So, new, no group. Yeah, we went over these, so this is fine. And here you have a proposal no group. So basically, if I was to run this, it would not group any of the items. It would just run them all. Show you what that looks like. So projects, manage project, same one. Reports, go to proposal, no group. And there's no grouping. It's just the items, project total, grand total. All right, so let's go back. Reports, manage reports. All right, our next section is themes. So let's see here. Oh, it looks like I haven't downloaded the themes yet. Shows how much I use them. Should not take long to download the themes. There we are. So these are themes, and the themes are the banners you see. Yeah, some of these are new. I haven't even seen these yet. So you can choose which theme you want to put for, say, I like the solid ones. I'm going to go with, I actually like that one, solid wood. And so that will be chosen for proposal theme. You can choose one for proposal with images, proposal large images, and any other client reports. So you can choose those here, or you can choose them in the report settings here. Now, go over these some of these settings here. For example, a good one to go over here is the custom descriptions, where, for example, summarize tags. If you have this set to true, it's not going to say, for example, you have labor tax and a, say, like a product tax. And you can, of course, name them whatever you want out in your project or in the catalog. But if you have this set to false, it'll print out what, let's say, sales tax or HST or whatever. But if you have this set to true, it'll print out both those labor and product tax, and it'll print whatever's here. There's nothing here. It'll just say tax. So, for example, I have sales tax. We have discount description for when the discount description is printed out on the project summary. We have labor description, product adjustment, miscellaneous part adjustment, labor adjustment, and miscellaneous items. So all these would be in the project summary, and you can designate here what it prints out as. You can also here designate which report themes you use for, say, proposal with images, large images, or your other client reports. Back when we were creating group, there was a, I'll show you here, there was like a global setting, use global setting option. That's where it's pulling from here. Keep all groups together, or keep all reports in report groups together, and auto page number all reports in which are in a report group together. Other thing to it's worth mentioning here is the proposal section. Here you have use short description only. So if you have short description, it's going to just print out the product short description on the report. Use long description only, we'll use the long description. Use long description if available, we'll use long description if there is one. If not, it's going to do some short. Location detail level. Say you have a building, and in the building you have a floor, and on the floor you have a room. That will count as 3 levels. If you're in that room, if you happen to have another room, or even a room in that would be 5. -1 will print out all of them. So yeah, it'll go through the entire detail level. Cascade is going to keep the parent, child with parent, so it's going to keep that floor 2 with building 1, and it's going to keep room 206 with floor 2. It's going to keep that information together. Keep accessories with parent. If an item, when a prisoner report is, say, in a room and it has an accessory, this option is going to keep that accessory wherever that parent is. Show packages. Show packages in your proposal. Hide 0 prices. Hide 0 prices, just do blank. Show optional items and subtotal in project summary. This is a new one. Basically, it'll do your project by itself without optionals. It'll have a section that shows the price of all optional items, and then it'll have another section that shows the price of the project with those optional items. Here's your default project summary. So whenever you click the project summary button, this is where you can choose the default report that's run for that, and the default quick proposal. That's for the quick proposal. If you have any other questions about the report settings here, just ask me at the end when we do questions, and I'll go over these a bit more detail. And the additional reports button here will take you out to our additional reports page. At the moment, we don't have anything for SI 2015, not yet, so nothing there. All right, so let's get to the report designer. So I'm going to click the standard report designer button here. And that's going to open up this page. And so we're going to go File, and we're going to go New. We also do New based on existing report. It's easier that way. Here we would choose which report we want to base our report off of. So for this purpose, let's do contract. And we're going to do webinar contract. All right, here we have a couple options. This is a sub-report. If you check this box, it will your report will not be visible on that main report page. That's strictly because sub-reports are not full reports. They're meant to be bound to other reports, and so they don't show up on the report manager. This is a change order report. We'll turn this into a change order report. As you might notice, you're not able to access the change order report from the main client section. If you click on the client button under the reports tab, change order is not going to be there. You only see change order reports when you're making a change order. And include optionals and alternates. That's for legacy reports. So here we have a category, some data source. Keep that same, so keep all this information the same. You can do your pay sub, your orientation, your margins and page size. Here you put whether or not you want to support sorting or dynamic grouping. You want to do that, you can. Normally leave this unchecked. If you do support sorting, And you wouldn't do this necessarily for a contract. Support dynamic grouping is the grouping section that you get normally when you have a proposal, so that's normally checked. But because this is a contract, it's not going to have that. And sorting, you can check that and it'll add another tab for sorting. We don't need that for a contract. Required groupings. Again, we don't need any of these for a contract, but if you want any groupings that will be required, you can select it here. Required sorting, again, don't need it for contract, but if you want to say make a report that you want to sort by price, you can do that. Required filters, you can actually have a default filter to run on a report. So if you only want a report that runs for a certain phase or for a certain price, you could do that as well. Parameters, this one doesn't have any parameters, but normally, like for a sample or a contract, not a contract, but a proposal, you'll have a list of report parameters, and you can choose like defaults as well here. Next, and here is basically the summary of the report we just created. So let's hit finish. So as you can see here, we have contract here. We have these text boxes here, which are each sub-reports. We have another section here, which is more text. If you double click, you can scroll through and see what this text is. We have some text here, a line for our client and line for contractor and date. So let's change some things here. First off, here in this contract text box, if you look over to the right here, you can see all the properties of this specific text box. So for example, we can change font. So I want to change font to, let's see, this will do. As you can see, it's been changed. Let's make it, it's already bold. It's good. Let's underline. Let's increase the size to 24. And let's change the color to peach puff. Why not? And so that changed the properties of this particular text box. And you can change the properties of all of these, in fact. Now, this information here has a data field, and that means that it's pulling from a specific field of data. So, for example, this is pulling from the company name of the actual client, and this is pulling from the company data for the actual person doing, or the company doing the project, and their address. And here's the address of the project. This specific data here is scripted, but you can, again, you can also change like the font, or you can change the color of the font. So if we wanted this to be red, it'll be red. If we wanted this to be blue, we can change that over here in the properties here. So let's change to blue. Oops, where is it at? There we are. Get the blue in here. There we go. Still blue. Another good thing about the concept report is you can actually change this information here. So if I didn't want to say contract documents and details, I just wanted to say terms and conditions. That can be changed. Another thing worth talking about here is the toolbox on the side here. Here you have things like labels, which this right here is technically a label. You have text box. These are text boxes. So labels are more like anything that's meant to have maybe a few words of text. Like, for example, presented by. There's a label. Let's see, client. I would put that as a label, but here's a text box. Text box can hold a lot of text, as you can see here. Here. Checkbox, which is a checkbox. Rich text field is going to be a rich text box. Is going to keep formatting. So actually, these two might actually be rich text boxes. I'm going to assume they are because they say RTB. So these are rich text boxes here. You can insert shape. So if we want to put in a shape, we can put in this rectangle and change it to around a rectangle. And change the color and put that there. You can put in a picture if you want to, a line. We'll just put in a line kind of like this here. There. Page break. Page break here. We'll just create a new page directly after this data here is printed. Barcode, we'll add a barcode. Subreport. Subreport is, it basically links to another report. So for example, I can right click this and hit bind to DTools report and have another report printed here. I'm not going to change this. Chart, we'll insert a chart, report info. I haven't seen this used, so I don't know exactly what this would do. Cross line section, we'll put a line that crosses through these sections here. And cross box, same thing, put a box. I'm actually going to undo those. Okay, so we changed this to terms and conditions. Let's actually add a few more enters here. Add some more text, and specifically with the contract report, I definitely suggest doing it in like Word and then copying and pasting all of this into your contract. So let's see. This is going to be bound to a theme. So I'm not going to change that. I'm actually going to publish. So basically, if let's go over these file section here. Open, you have two options here, open existing report and open unpublished report. Existing reports is any reports you publish. Open unpublished reports is like a report you saved, but you didn't necessarily publish for everyone else to use. Edit report information will bring up that window we were in before, the report wizard, so you can change any of this information you want. Edit report definitions. We'll edit the report definitions of this particular report. This one doesn't have any. Preview. Preview would run this report so you can actually see what it will look like. We suggest you run it with an actual project. So here we are. We have our blue box here. I'm sorry, our red box here. We have our contract text here. We have blue text here. All right. You have save for later, which will just save this case you're working on a report, you don't want to publish it yet, you want to come back to it at a later point. You have the save for later option. Publish report will publish the report, but it will only be on your machine. So you want to publish it just to test it against projects. That's what we suggest doing, publishing the report there. Publish and export to server. We'll publish the report and export it to the server so other people can import it into their list of reports to use. So we're going to publish this report. Every time you publish a report, you will always be asked whether or not you want to close the designer. In this case, we're going to go yes. We're going to go, as you can see here, there it is, webinar contract. We're going to go to our projects, webinar here, report, client, run. And there we are. All right. So let's see if we can change the theme here. Themes, other client reports. Let's do wood. Save. And let's run again. I think that was the correct one used there, and there it is. So actually, I like it. I like the wood here. And we have, this should also be printed. We have terms and conditions here showing that you can change it, client, contractor. I'm going to exit out here. And now I want to show you how to export to server. So if we go to reports, manage reports, we're going to select our webinar contract because now we like where it is now. We're going to go to export, server. We're going to choose webinar contract here. We'll click export. All right, so are there any questions? Go back here to the start menu here. All right, if there aren't any questions, if you do have any questions, you can always submit a support ticket or talk to one of our chat representatives. That can be done by clicking Start, Help, either selecting Live Support Chat or Create a Support Ticket. Live Support Chat will put you in contact with one of our chat support representatives, and Create a Support Ticket will create a ticket in the queue, and one of our technicians will contact you either through phone call or email. Well, thank you everyone for coming to the webinar. Have a nice day.